together here. I'm going to do a quick tarot pull for y'all. Since I did share the karmic deck, I'll go ahead and follow it up with, this is probably my most karmic deck that I have, the Spirit Halloween one. I really do like it though, because it has like some symbolism on it and stuff, and things that, you can look up, especially if, for the younger ones and stuff, if anybody else in your family likes to play with the decks. There's some information that you can tap into the symbolism of nature is what I want to say. All right. So for many of you, that may be very important coming up. Let's go ahead and get to the tarot though and see what needs to be revealed for this collective, please. Yeah, I feel like somebody's very down in the dumps right now for some reason. Okay, Eight of Wands, Hydra. And so this being the karmic deck, it's like, okay, normally you think Eight of Wands, like things moving quickly, things are going well, you're going to get that communication, right? But here it's all these little snakes appearing. It's like when you cut off the head of one, another appears. And that's, what a Hydra does in nature. If you study oceanography at all, or underwater creatures, sea creatures. So for somebody currently, it's like, it's not really mo money, mo problems. It's just mo problems and no end in sight right now. So I feel like that's why I'm getting this down in the dumps energy from somebody currently. Okay, so that could be somebody that's experiencing some karma, and it's like swift karma. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not only did the apartment application get denied, but also you need a new tire on the car if you even have one, and all those kinds of things, checking accounts overdrawn, owing the bank money, you know what I mean? And it's like this person is looking at all this like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this? Okay. Which collective, I feel like you've been on that path many, many times over, and you're like, look, that's life, right? Sometimes things don't go your way, and you have to choose a different path. What I feel like happened here is this person is looking at this dead end, thinking up like, hey, and now it's finally rearing its ugly head, showing them almost up to 8 times over that, like, look, you're going to have to fight all these battles before you can move forward. Like, there is no more shortcut. The only, the shortcut here is the shortcut you don't want, because it's going over the cliff, like the mountain climber. And that was coming through yesterday too. Y'all ever see that game on The Price is Right? It's like la 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 la, and he keeps going up and up and up, and then all of a sudden, whoo, right, goes over, and then that's it. So again, this person thought they were on this path to success, and it has shown that has not been successful, and really all they're doing is creating drama and work for themselves. In some cases, it's just the pushing it down the line, right? Oh, we won't deal with it this quarter. We'll assign it to somebody else on the team, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, just people not wanting to deal with their problems. Okay, yeah, 2 of Wands. So, as this person has been very singularly focused here with the Cyclops, like I said, it's like they were on this path thinking that they were going to be able to, create this fantasy bridge without any raw materials, right? And it's like, oh, actually, we have to do some work. Yeah, like put your bib on. Right? This person could be in an industry where they need to wear some protective gear on their clothing. Like maybe like if you're a line cook or you're working in a kitchen, right? You don't want stuff going all over your clothes. Also, most people have seen, a hairdresser or a barber wear something over their clothing to protect from the hair dye, the clippings, the whatever, right? It could be something of this nature where this person may be working or need to work, all right, in this kind of environment, okay, you could work in that kind of environment as well. You may have met this person at work. This could be somebody that you worked with even, and it's like, oh, like now they're finally getting in trouble for not doing that assignment. Now they're finally getting in trouble for, the boss finally figured out that, all these stories were just BS. You know what I mean? Something like that. And collective, I feel like you are over here just like, ting, 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 just very focused on what you need to be doing, right? Not focused on, it's like they want you now to like be focused on what they have, right? And you're like, good luck, right? So you might want to go back and look at the latest video I posted out to the community tab. It is a karmic message that starts off with, oh well, right? You might just have to tell this person, oh well, back to the drawing board, right? Like you don't have to be mean about it, but you also don't have to get involved. Just be like, oh well, that's luck, right? Or that's life. Okay. Yeah, the star. Aquarius, I feel like collective, you are feeling very free. Also because it's like you're creating your own fairy tale here with the tooth fairy. You may be somebody who likes to take care of themselves. Like, for example, brushing your teeth twice a day. You know what I mean? So you don't have like those expensive dental bills coming up. I mean, dental is rarely covered on your insurance these days anyway, right? It's stuff like this, and where somebody else is like cavity central, and it's like, oh well, I thought eating all these convenience foods and living on sugar was gonna, no, eventually it catches up, don't it? Okay. So let this be a message for your health as well, not just what these karmics are dealing with, because some of this is like really heavy stuff, but some of this is very, very simple stuff, collective, that I feel like you have already figured out, and that's why you are appearing in star energy. It almost looks like her smile is a mask as well. So for some of you, you may have been masking, especially if you are in an industry where you are around a lot of people. Maybe you are, your job faces the public. You know what I mean? You meet with clients versus somebody who, just meets with their coworkers in an office. You actually have folks that come in from the outside, or maybe you are some kind of healthcare worker that has to visit folks' home. So you might be masking just as a preventative, right? Okay. Yeah, I just got the 8 don't skate, pass it on. And there's the 80 down here. It's like, you're like, yeah, I don't want to get sick. Does the mask really help or hurt? Blah, blah, blah. Go argue it somewhere else. I'm going to try and do what I need to do for myself, right? Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're drinking your milk and taking your vitamins, collective. And it's like, and that's what's giving you this peaceful rest as well. I feel like here you are going to sleep, right? Because you brushed your teeth, you drank your milk and your vitamins or whatever. Maybe you're lactose intolerant. I don't know. I had a friend that did. He still ate the cheese. He took the special medicine, so sometimes he could eat the stuff. You know what I mean? Because he loved it so much, but he really was lactose intolerant. Anyway, yeah, it's like you're getting, like your dreams are going at 80 miles an hour. Like you're building this whole thing in your sleep, right? Whereas this person is like, oh, so that's all the stuff that I ignored for years and years and years that built up, and now they have nowhere to go. They want to burden it on you, but you know what? You're here fast asleep, right? Like, yep, I did my job. So this could also be like, okay, like, when you're in the restaurant industry, especially if you're a server, like you have more work than just your tables, right? You have potentially side work through the restaurant, right? Which is really why servers should get paid a minimum wage, because they're performing other tasks at the restaurant as well. I mean, especially if that's the kind of restaurant that you work at. Like, we had to roll silverware, or, clean this machine, or restock the salads, whatever it was, right? Um, so this is like where you've done that stuff and now you've peacefully gone home again and you're rested and you're dreaming about the next day, right? And you're not worried about coworker or somebody else that just couldn't hack it. You know what I mean? Like, it's all great to unionize and stand together sometimes, but you got to wonder who you're standing up for, right? There's a lot of people that don't like unions because of that, because there's some real slack asses out there, right? Slack jaw Jezebel, if you will. Yeah, opening it for any and everybody to see how they can get away with not working. And that is simply not possible. That's why it's like it's backwards down the number line, right back to the start for this person every single time. Oh boy. All right. Sorry, y'all. You know, when you do these live readings, it's like, ugh. That energy just really comes through, and it's like you know what I mean? If you were the manager, it's like this is the person that you want to strangle on a daily basis. I just watched some SNL skit. They had this like, it was like, oh, Leslie, you know what I mean? Like this, you know, somebody that's always screwing stuff up at work, like bumbling around. But like this is more like the person that takes tips off your table. Okay. This is the person that you come into work all smiles and they're like, what are you so happy about? Somebody that looks like you shouldn't even be so happy. All right. So I think you're getting the picture that this person is just a miserable pile of dew. All right. And that's why they didn't really care about doing the real work. They have no sense of accomplishment themselves. It's all about what they can take from other people. Yeah. And then sometimes collective, that is what they have in mind, is taking an opportunity from you, right? To stand up for their foolishness. That's what they want you to do. So they can say, well, look at so-and-so that works hard. They had to suffer just like me. No, that's not exactly right now, is it? Is it? Yeah, we all have dreams of becoming Mr. or Miss Rockstar, don't we? But a lot of us still have to pay the bills in the meantime, right? Go file unemployment with the government. See if they care, right? You know, do y'all ever see that? That was a couple years ago now, that Super Bowl commercial, the Dolly Parton, and the thing was working 5 to 9, right? Some people actually have to do, right, their regular job, and then they come home and work a second job, and then they dream about that second job or side hustle becoming the thing, right? This person just wanted it to show up without them doing any work, you know, and they'll be sitting here saying, oh, it's the law of attraction. I don't have to do anything. Well, you know what? When God gives you a fucking paddle in your goddamn little rowboat, you better paddle your little fucking ass off, or you just might drown. And that is how this person is feeling currently. So I'm warning you about these law of attraction people that sit there and say you don't have to do anything, because yes, you do. Yes, you do. Even my aunt, who was legally blind, like could not drive a car for, I mean, I don't even know if she ever drove. Okay. She worked many, many years at a large retailer, right? But there's other people out there, oh, I wouldn't be able to do, I can't do. Right? The dramatics, and excuses. Guess what? Stars don't think about all the excuses. Well, you know, coach wasn't really happy with me. Yeah. Right. Well, coach is picking on me. Well, coach's wife is on the school board and so what, you gonna give up? What if they ain't your coach next year? Huh? And then you wasted your time not conditioning yourself to get better, so then the coach that knows what the fuck's going on can actually put you in the goddamn game. Okay? Please take tarot card for your mother. Well, you know, the star energy is a very, very nice energy. And I would also say that star energy, so this Aquarian, freeing your mind to think about the possibilities, okay? And also to think about the life that your ancestors would have wanted for you, okay? So for instance, if your mother, if your father, if your grandparents, if your, you know, aunts, auntie or uncles or anybody who showed a smidge of care in your life, right? If they could see you today, would they say, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that they're happy? Or would they be saying, I'm so happy that they're unhappy? Like, that doesn't sound right, right? Okay. So again, giving yourself something to dream about at night. You know, psychologists will call that reparenting yourself. Okay. For some of you, you could be literally in real estate development. Here I'm getting with the houses. That could be anything, you know, property management to building. Okay, you know, maybe you're a general contractor or a plumber or an electrician or something like that. I mean, have you seen all these storms that have come through lately? They're going to need a lot of qualified people to go and do all these jobs, right? The insurance industry has to pay somebody at the end of the day, right? They never want to, but every now and then they got to pay it out, don't they? Don't they? Yeah, because they can't keep taking and taking and taking and never pay out. Else it cannibalizes the business, right? And then there's nobody left. Karmics don't understand that. Oh, well, the world is my oyster. Yeah, well, what are you contributing? Even a little grain of sand, right? An irritant. Formerly a piece of glass, right? Contributes to the beauty of a pearl. So yeah, even some bum can change their life around if they so choose. And if they stop with the mentality that it's everybody else's fault and they have no control. Okay? All right. I got a sip here. I'm really glad I decided to do this tarot today, guys. It's like really coming out. What's in the heart chakra here in this zone? Again, I really do feel like somebody could be having some car issues. 2 of Cups, Unicorn. Wow. I don't even know if I've ever pulled this before. So this is very nice, right? 2 of Cups right in the heart chakra. So collective, I feel like because you have been focused and dreaming about your manifestations, it's like that love is starting to be returned to you. And you may feel when you find this, that it is just this unicorn type, this one of a kind type experience. Okay. So definitely listen to your guides about this. All right. This 2 of Cups also is not just found within, you know, another individual, but say like if this is a passion project of yours, something that is going to make your heart, make your life very happy. All right. But in that, you're gonna feel the joy. You're gonna feel the pleasure, right? You know, when they say it's a labor of love, it's more like an uplifting labor. That's what I want to get. Okay. Oh boy. Let's see what is next, please. Thank you, everybody that has joined the chat today. Please do be kind to others. The Lovers card, succubus. So, whoever this prior person was, they could be carrying some succubus energy, collective. Okay. And the things that they were talking about that they do, you're like, oh my God, that's like so not me, right? But sometimes they just can't like stop themselves from sharing, and you're like, actually, I don't really do that kind of sharing. So, yeah. Yeah, collective, you're looking for, oh, look at that, Rose, right underneath. You are looking for that one of a kind. Okay, so yeah, this is literally following the music of your heart here. Okay. Not settling for this kind of playerish type attitude or entitlement. Especially if it's a feminine that you've been dealing with and they're like, well, I just need to look cute and bone you. Right? Anyway, yeah, that's literally all they wanted to do with their life. Now, if you've been following tarot or messages or anything like that, you understand that's a lower vibration, and that's why it's called succubus. Yeah, it looks great until you wake up next to it and you realize you're in bed with a fucking demon. All right, let's keep going. One last card for this collective, what they need to know. Four of Swords. What did I say? That dramatic stuff earlier, remember? I feel like once the person figures out that you are not you're not chasing something that they should have been working on all along, you're just slowly moving forward. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, right? It's like, hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2. You're just marching on. Yeah, look, the dryer just stopped there. Okay, right? Is that not symbolic? It's saying, yeah, it's time. Okay? Time to ride off into the sunset with your happy little ass, right? Not worrying about what these people are doing with their time and not caring when they come to complain to you about it. So for some of you, this may mean boundaries, especially if this is somebody that you're with in a working environment. And there's people too that are at the office that will do this stuff. They'll be married, running around with people, or they want you to come on vacation with them and their boyfriend. And it's like, wait a second, aren't you married? Well, and it's like, no, I just don't want to deal with it, period. Right? At a certain age it's like, it's not anything personal. It's just, I don't want to be in your business. I don't want to be the drive-by on Dateline NBC because you chose to, stick it in somebody's hoo-ha that, sorry, but that succubus, I mean, even even an ignorant son of a bitch can suck on a lollipop. I mean, it ain't that hard. Anyway, so while you're seeing this collective, you could be like playing your flute, literally. Unbothered. And like all these grapes, you're like, yeah, maybe I'll eat some grapes later. Like, I feel like you're just really in this chill mode because you've been focusing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then it's like you're leapfrogging. You're leapfrogging over their whatever, right? Oh my goodness. Somebody that was, at one time could have been a future in-law. He was talking about whenever he broke up with somebody, he had this was like a little green suitcase or something. He went from place to place. And I feel like that's what this person is, that's kind of their lifestyle, right? I just need to look cute and I'll bring some clothes over and pretty soon they'll just fall in love with me. But at the same time, it's still that succubus energy. It doesn't matter like what they do, right? Until he decided to settle down and go from, moving his suitcase from town to town or house to house, right? He didn't find what he was looking for, right? Okay. So, this could be like whoever, like a relative, a coworker, again, somebody who just cannot figure it out right now, right? Because they've not dealt with anything. And they're going to be talking to you and they'll be like, well, it's not working out with so and so, but I thought maybe if I just move into so and so's place, that'll work. And you're just like, what? It's like y'all have been watching too much Grey's Anatomy or something out there. I don't know who you are or who raised you, right? But you do realize that, if you don't watch the whole show, you don't understand the moral of the story, right? Hey, Tony, happy St. Patty's Day. Hopefully everyone is being safe out there, especially in the United States. I know my town has a huge parade, which it should be over by now. And thankfully the weather is fairly pleasant for a spring day. I've been down there when it was like raining, sleeting, and, kind of miserable, but we did it anyway, right? But that's not the case for you, collective. You're kind of like, actually I got a good weather day. I'm enjoying my wine, playing my little flute, la 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 la, right? Just, and it's kind of like that. If anybody comes and messes with you on your like little happy trail that you're having, because why? Because you worked hard. 1, 2, 3. You stayed your nose to the grindstone. 1, 2, 3. Right? So if this energy comes around, they literally might get the horns. And then they'll run crying back to their friend. I don't know why they were so mean to me. It's because I was in the middle of my song, fuckface, and you interrupted me. Now go bother somebody else for a change, right? Yeah, 4 of Swords again. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm good. I'm good. You can look at it this way as, oh, he sucked the life out of her and blah, blah. Doesn't she know he's a vampire? I mean, what do they call that? Like Munchausen's or something, where, the caretaker, is like knowingly, willingly creating a situation. Mm-hmm. That's why I feel like this vampire here, it's like, okay, well, you kind of knew it was a vampire, so, like, is that really the person you want to be moving in with? Right? You're like, maybe instead of the theatrics, you just maybe need a nap and like to think about it. So like if this person comes to you like, oh, what am I gonna do? And you're just like, maybe just take it, sleep on it, and maybe you'll get an answer tomorrow. Okay. I really feel like for a lot of you, and you're just like, you're so over their drama. This is so wild. Yeah, you are definitely protecting your peace. That is for darn sure. What is it? All right, sorry, I got to take care of this one right here. Think she can come interrupt me during this reading. Yeah. It's coming to harass me. There she goes. Alrighty. I do have a couple more minutes. Let's go ahead and get the romance angels, because even through this, like, of whoever is having these issues, I feel like collective, your strong points here, right? Of, being focused on what you're trying to manifest. And it's like, wow, it's actually turning out. It's like, yeah, look at that. It's like, well, how come your hair looks like that? How come I can't have that? When you're like, well, I take care of myself and, I use conditioner and I comb my hair every day. You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, how do you do that? How do you just, and it's like, well, have you started at the basics? Have you? Again, this is when you're going to sit back down on, and you're like, okay, well, when you finish chapter 1, and I'm going to be over here, giving yourself a little dose of fun, of love, of happiness. Why? Because you fucking worked for it. Okay? Not because it just magically appeared in your hands. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. People want to come on these readings and be like, oh my God, how did you figure that out? How'd you figure that out? Well, some of it's just common sense, ain't it? Once you know the truth, okay. Let's see. What do we need in there? I'm just gonna pull cards just on these for you guys, okay? And clarify with the romance angels. Okay. So this is you guys are more, and then this is the other person. All right. So whoever this is in your ear. Like I said, this could be a coworker. I mean, and like I said, this could be somebody who it's like constantly they're talking about their spouse or their girlfriend or their family, and you're just like, oh my God, I just want to get my work done. Right? And part of the reason you're succeeding is because you are leaving it out on the floor, and it's finally coming back. It's finally coming back. Some of you may have lost a little faith along the way, right? And sometimes that happens because people in our community, whatever community that is, don't believe in us, or else they think they are somehow above us and can somehow shortcut the natural order of, the higher order of things. Okay, that us mere humans are not in control of completely, right? I mean, there was that show on Dateline. So I'll go back to that one again. These teenagers that grouped up and killed another teenager. And this was in the late 90s. And to this day, these people have never really said why, And the guy's girlfriend even had a baby by him. And she's, in jail currently because she was the main plotter of this murder. Right? It's like, yeah, just having a baby by them doesn't mean that all is forgiven. Like, you still, it's like it's beyond kindergarten. Somebody's soul done fucked up a real long time ago. Yeah, exactly. And there's other people that aren't standing for it. They had to face the law of justice. And it was 7 years before the family got her arrested and tried. Yeah. They got the trigger man, but, her who orchestrated the whole thing, it took 7 years. Okay? Yeah, some people think they can just shortcut life. Well, I got more than 7 years coming back at you. I think she's in jail for a very, very long time. Some of these killers, they get out 5 years or less even. It's kind of crazy. But, they're the ones that have to show their face in public, right? Anyway, yeah, meanwhile, the collective's like, yeah, I'm not getting into that, right? Again, so whoever this is that has a lot of this drama stuff, sometimes it's like, some of these people on Dateline 48 Hours, these stories, it's like, yeah, it's like, because everybody at work knew they were having an affair, right? And then somebody else gets involved, and then all of a sudden somebody else gets stabbed or shot or, The other one, Dateline I watched, they had the lady who does, you know, notary. They had the public notary there on site when they orchestrated the murder. That woman could have gotten killed as well. So this is what I'm saying. These people will stop at nothing. At nothing. So you better stay focused on what you need to be doing. Because there's always somebody going to be out there trying to roast their little weenie on your flame. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So, collective, this could be somebody who works well with you. Somebody who admires your determination and effort. Okay? If you feel like for some reason this person was trying to hold you back in the past, I feel like they don't want to do that now. It's like they have an understanding of what your goals are, is what I'm getting. All right, let's keep moving. For the romance angels, please. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Okay, so like I was talking about reparenting yourself, right? Do you say your prayers at night? Is that part of your spiritual health, part of your just overall wellness? You know what I mean? What are your practices? Okay. So if you were raised in a very different environment than somebody else, okay, they may not understand this, right? And, for some people, that's why they get into these kinds of things. But a lot of that, though, let's be real, are their own poor choices. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah, the righteous path is not walked by everyone. It simply is not. If it was, then we wouldn't have so many people on trial for murder and all these other things. I mean, it's quite disgusting. The movie Fargo, if you've not watched it, right? What's the famous line? All for a little bit of money, right? There's also he's fleeing the interview. I always like that part. Wasn't that guy, I mean, the real life guy though, he was convicted of like bribing college admissions to or his wife was, right? New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Isn't that funny too? It's like you think only poor people would be like out there bribing and doing stuff. You would think you can go to any college you want. But maybe your kid's not smart enough to get into that school. I don't know. I also saw somebody say that Harvard was a party school, so I don't know, whatever. But they weren't trying to get into Harvard. Anyway, yeah, new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Wow, clarifying with the Two of Cups. Hello, hello. So yeah, whatever this is that's bringing you happiness, it's like you're going to enjoy that happiness to the fullest extent. All right, is the message that I'm getting. It's not going to be like, old commercial where they have the dollar out. They're like, oh, you almost got it. It's not going to be like that. No. That's what these people like. That's what they do. They have all these games. It's like they want to go into that thing where the claw comes down, right? And then have you miss it every time. And they just want you to keep putting in money. But I'm cute. Well, you're cute if you get all fixed up, but otherwise you look like a trash rat, right? Ooh, did I hurt somebody's feelings? Did I hurt the karmic's feelings? Oh my. Oh my, they have one feeling left. How about that? Oh, you ever hear that when you're growing up? Oh, what did it hurt? Did it hurt your one feeling? Deception. Somebody is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Yeah. So anytime whoever this is like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I need you to do that. You're just like, go back, read chapter 1. Then get back to me. If ever. If ever. Okay? Because you're like, look, I'm not into it. You're just not into it. You are literally minding your business. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think what else I'm getting out here from this, okay, is potentially somebody seeing that you could be happy, right, with somebody else. And they're coming along trying to put on this like, oh, I'm so happy for you. Too bad it never worked out with us and da 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 da. All the while, they're still like this kind of person, right? Hit it and quit it. Hit it and quit it. Hit it and quit it. Right? And honestly, if that's all they do, they might end up with something that zaps the life out of them. Like literally, it could stop them in their tracks, like giving them an STD. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this person could also be, just saying. Just saying there. Wrap it up. Like there was somebody trying to talk to me online and they said something about being under their covers and blah blah, and I'm thinking like, I don't really want to know what you're doing under the covers right now, considering I've never met you. You know what I mean? Like go try that on the phone sex operator, okay? And then you'll have a nice little exchange, right? Sometimes you got to read between the lines. Sometimes it's what they don't say. Yeah, free yourself from that expectation. Another thing, he said something about getting together, and I was like, sure. And then I was like, well, this past weekend I was thinking about going out, and he's like, oh, well, I have a commitment. And he's like, what about next weekend? I said, I'm already committed. And he said, well, with what? Again, this is somebody I've never met. What? He doesn't need or require that information. Okay? Some people are on a need to know basis, right? And some of those people are the people that cannot do anything for themselves, although they have the mind, the body. Maybe they'll get the spirit. Maybe the spirit will come and kick their ass enough to realize that if they don't make some changes, there's going to be some drastic changes that they are never going to recover from. Okay? And that's part of this deception, right? It's easier to wear the mask than to come clean, right? Again, it's so funny too, because this is like, I was just watching some little Irish band, and they had like one of these flute things. I don't know if it's actually called a flute though when it's played like this. It might have a different formal name. Anyway, that's what I feel like the collective has going on today, enjoying themselves, and and whereas somebody else over here is like, has, like the opposite space, like somebody has a case of the Mondays, but it's like going to be Monday for them until they get this figured out. Like perpetual Monday. It's going to be like Groundhog Day for this person for a very long time. All right. And your job is to keep going. 1, 2, 3. It's like my calculus teacher used to say, 1, 2, 3. It's so easy. You know, understand? That was college calculus. That was Calc 3, by the way, that he was saying, which is basically 3D calculus. All right. It's like calculus and geometry combined. And I'm like, oh my God. There was, and to give you a hint, there was only, and this was at a university that had Probably 8,000 to 9,000 students total. So who the other two are, did they maybe go on and use that? And you know what? This professor was so funny too because it's funny I mentioned this apron thing because he would always wear this like one sweater and it had like a hole in it, and this is a guy teaching at a university, right? You're thinking like this guy's probably making some decent money, right? He can't afford a new sweater. But what was important to him, right? Obviously not making fashion impressions on students that couldn't do the math. All right, so prioritize yourself. 1, 2, 3. Now, don't fall for this okey doke, slick, oil slick smelling. Wow. Yeah. Oh boy. I even heard somebody say rotten crotch. I mean, because if they're just going from one to the next, it's like, what? Jesus Lord, what are you putting in there, y'all? Anyway. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Free yourself from all of that. And you are the unicorn, right? It's like all these people looking at you, right? And they're like, oh, that's why they want to be with you because you're one of a kind, right? Whereas other folks are worried about trying to look like everybody else. And what does it get them? It gets them a whole lot of nowhere because they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work. They just want to take. One of these guys I used to play music with, he told me, he's like, I used to be a taker, he said, and now I'm learning how to be a giver. That was after his divorce. Yeah, sometimes we don't necessarily know what we're doing, right? But choosing better for ourselves on a consistent basis, right, is going to give us those sweet dreams, right, that the tooth fairy will bring us. Not only bring us sweet dreams, but fantastic opportunities that are literally curated for you, that are going to be unique for you. Okay, somebody also may like horses as well, maybe significant, okay, and music. All right, so let that guide you along your path for the rest of this week. Remember, we just had that full moon, so you might be feeling a little residuals. I think that's part of this karmic energy that was coming through because, while you're saying, oh, well, they're saying, oh, shit, kind of thing. Like realizing like they're not going to get much in that tax return. So they better start hustling to find the next source of supply. And if you don't know what a source of supply is, please do check out many creators out there on YouTube that will detail in, to your heart's content, I would say, the behaviors and systems that some of these succubus folks use. One person I enjoy watching or have in the past is Richard Grannon. There's also a doctor. He had some really good short videos that I enjoyed. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, though. But, sometimes giving yourself that little boost, right, to realize that, this is not your problem anymore. It's like somebody wanted to make this your problem, and you have literally told them. You may have had to get a restraining order. You may have changed the locks. Whatever it took, you might have had to change your phone number to tell this person, look, this stuff is not my problem anymore, right? You're going to have to face it, okay? So let that be the message to the karmics. And meanwhile, collective, enjoy your flute, enjoy your wine or whatever your drink of choice may be. Just don't overdo it. And please do be safe. Take a taxi if needed. Until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye-bye.